The Bible says, and of the children of Isaachar, which were men that had understanding of the times, to know what Israel ought to do. God commends the children of Isaachar for understanding the times, and having that understanding instruct them as to how Israel ought to live, ought to behave. And you and I live in extraordinary times. Sin abounds. The Bible is coming true before your very eyes, and the day of Christ's appearing draws closer every day. And the Lord expects you to understand the times in which you live, that you might know what you ought to do. Oh, you may have your religion, but do you understand the times and how God would have you to respond? The Lord rebuked the religious people of his day when he said, "Ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky and of the earth, but how is it that ye do not discern this time?" They didn't recognize what God was doing. They had lost sight of God's plan. They'd been so dulled by their own pride that they didn't even see what God was fulfilling before their very eyes. May that not be the case with us. May we understand the times. May we discern this time, that we might know what we ought to do, how we ought to live. In the great book of Romans, the Apostle Paul says, "And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believed." If we know the time, if we understand the times, what ought we to do? Wake up. Wake up from your slumber. Wake up from your lethargy. Wake up from your drunkenness on the drink of this world, and do what God would have you to do, because our salvation is nearer than when we believed.